Crypto ETFs will trigger altcoin season. I've said this before and I will continue to say it, and I honestly think that XRP will lead the charge. It was announced earlier today that volatility shares applied for multiple crypto-related leveraged ETFs. 3 times and 5 times. They filed a total of 27, I believe, and the crypto ones were XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and the crypto stocks were Coin, Circle, and Master. These ETFs, they're leveraged. Out of the 27, there were 4 crypto leveraged 3 times ETFs and 4 crypto leveraged 5 times ETFs. Each were XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I think that this is going to kind of give a good indication as to what's going to happen with altcoin season. As always, I'm WendyO. I talk everything crypto. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, set alerts, and let's get it. It's not shocking to me that volatility shares apply for a Bitcoin and Ethereum leveraged ETFs because we already have the spot ETFs live and the futures options, all that type of stuff. But I also thought it was interesting that they apply for a Solana and XRP leveraged ETF. This could be potentially because they know they're going to get it approved fast, because the SEC did come out with new guidance indicating, or generic listing standards indicating, that in order for crypto spot ETFs to get approved without the SB4, I forget what it is, but anyways, without that application, they need to have adequate futures, be a mature futures market. And XRP and Solana definitely have that. XRP primarily with Rex Osprey. But I also thought it was very interesting that they picked XRP as one of these, primarily because it's a little bit of an outlier. With Solana, you can stake it, Ethereum you can stake, and Bitcoin is its own entity. But the fact that they applied for an XRP leverage futures ETF, which again, you guys, I'm not advising you to trade with leverage any way, shape, or form. It's really just for experienced traders. Kind of just tells me the type of demand that we're going to see with that. They wouldn't apply for a listing if they didn't anticipate retail, institutions, accredited investors to hop on that. In addition to it, we're starting to see some opinions from TradFi folks. The folks over at Bitwise, well, Matt, the CIO, says that the crypto flash crash was a blip, not a structural shift. And again, the crypto flash crash was because of too much leverage. Centralized exchanges failed, and a multitude of other things happened. But he did go on to say no major institutional failures were reported, and losses mostly limited to individual traders. He also expects short-term volatility, but believes the bull market remains intact and that long-term growth drives are unchanged. And I agree with this take. I think it's fair. Heck, we had all this news from BlackRock yesterday about wanting to tokenize the entire market, essentially vertically integrating crypto into traditional finance with tokenization, even though technically that should be the other way around, but whatever. But moral of the story is the government is still shut down, which means they're not going to really be able to prove any spot ETFs at this time, unless they use the generic listing standards. But the good news is that we're starting to see institutions and these issuers and whatnot really kind of pivot towards XRP and specific cryptos. And that's telling me that this is what they're interested in, this is what their clients are interested in, and it's probably going to be a safe bet to pay attention to what is being applied upon. And I'm not saying that the other crypto spot ETFs will not perform well. I just think that the ones that are going to perform the best are the ones that have the most listings, because that's more liquidity coming in. And I also think with more liquidity coming in, that's when we're going to actually see altcoin season start, primarily because retail investors in crypto are very, 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 very tired, exhausted. And in order for number to go up on any crypto asset, you need liquidity. And again, I'm talking about long-term here. I'm not talking about short-term because I know the market's kind of dipping a bit. But overall, you have to think long-term like the institutions. You're not going to be able to beat them at their game, but you certainly can join them. And by continuing to practice self-education and paying attention to what's happening and then make decisions based off of your own due diligence and allocate your portfolios properly, you're going to thrive. Goodbye.